quarterfinals of the Crunch Club Masters First Division, the losers quarterfinals, and the winners final. That will be later on. So we're talking about the losers quarterfinal, which is supposed to be starting any minute now. Any second, that is. Let me check here if we got him. Okay, I'll keep my eyes on the board because it should be updated, that's for sure. I think I'm also live streaming on TikTok, so that is a good thing, so to speak. I'm using the Streamlabs and TikTok as a destination. Let me check though if I am on YouTube. Just give me a sec. If I'm on YouTube, then I should be live on Facebook as well. Okay, that should be in order. Let me have a look at the Facebook here. Yeah, that should be fine. So I'm not going to restart the whole process. We're going to go as it is. Let me have a look here. Sound should be in order here. Yeah, everything should be fine. We're just waiting for the servers to give us the games and we can watch them together, guys, for a while. I'd be happy to covering the winners final as well, but that's completely dependable on the number of the viewers and my friends joining the stream at some point today. So again, waiting for them to update. So I think in the meantime we can do a quick puzzle together, and we're going to be reverting back. Of course, we're going to be coming back to this, guys, together. Let me check again. Yeah, I think the sound is fine. Everything should be okay here, guys. Okay, let's do a quick puzzle before actually Magnus plays Wesley So in this afternoon. 4:15. Time is 23 degrees Celsius, but I gotta tell you that I'm feeling it a bit more than just 23. I feel it like 24, 25. Exactly, indeed. Okay, we've got a puzzle here. They're normally quite tricky, but that queen looks like we should be taking it straight away. A queen is a queen, right? Am I missing something? Is there anything else? And then I think if I am to play queen, oopsie, queen on to e6, I'm actually threatening the bishop on f6, and I think it's great. Unless I'm missing something and there's something else. But that one looks good. If you guys think differently, if you got a different idea, please do let me know. I think it's something to do with queen e6. I hope I'm not terribly wrong. Or it might be maybe this, but it's not forcing, of course. I like queen e6. It's at least it's stacking directly something. And eventually this afterwards. So I'm going with this, and then I'm going to play c5. Is there anything stronger? If that's not strong, I don't know what is. It gotta be another one though. So which one is it? Is it this? No. Is it what is it? Oh my days, it's a fork. It's queen f3, and actually you're attacking two minor pieces at once. This and that. Yeah, so that was actually stronger than what I had tried previously. Okay. Shall we go to the events, guys? Because that's exactly how it's been advertised on the live stream, been advertised as, oh, they had started the rapid. Come on, guys, let's see this together. Games. Magnus Wesley, that's it. That's what we want to do. There we go. There we go. Let's just do that. Let's just do this, guys. Okay. You've got a time. You've got everything on the screen, but no engine for the time being because we're going to be using just our own minds. And you're more than welcome now to throw in your anticipation, your predictions, and your candidate move, so to speak. Nice e3 developing move normally. We might have some g3 or e3 at some point. Black needs to develop their pieces as well. Takes on c4. I guess that one is a theoretical move that could be played in order to recapture. G3. G3 also springs to mind. G3 as a theoretical move. Knight to e5. And let's see. Let's see. Okay, let me just highlight the candidate moves that I think are also theoretical, and we'll see what happens actually in the game as we watching it together live. By the way, guys, this is a live game happening right now. If I don't react promptly to messages via TikTok, it's because I'm using it actually two tabs for the uh, TikTok like Live Center. It just the messages do not show up on my. There you go. I did highlight e3, and that was the case indeed. Now, bishop naturally wants to capture on c4. The b5 is not a good move due to knight e5, so that will not be a good choice, obviously. So Wesley, oh, he played b4, but that's to be exactly. It's to be undermined, and that one doesn't really work. a6. That's a weird idea. Okay, knight being attacked now with tempo. You got to move the knight away. Probably you can deploy it on g3. Knight can play on to e5. So these ideas are very good for white. And their moves with tempo. Let's see what black plays, because that kind of pushing the pawns all the time. I mean, you got to play the e pawn, right? You got to make space for the bishop to come into game into castle, right? And you have to develop your pieces. This guy is particularly weak to c4. I wonder if knight g3 is going to happen. I think it probably will happen sooner or later. Unless you want to go knight f4, right? Do you want to go knight f4? Or do you go knight g3? Anyway, black's turn to play. Let me highlight the move e6, which I think he might be played. Again, guys, if you think differently or you got another plan here, please do share your ideas. I'm interested in hearing them. There you go, knight g3, exactly as I said. The bishop being attacked, bishop g6, of course. Bishop takes on c4 almost automatically. e6, we did say that one as well. Now the question is, would you go h or castle? Castle short. Castle short. And black needs to spend 2 tempi to castle the king. So they need to play the bishop and then castle, if that's what they want to do. And also white needs to finish up the development. There you go, bishop d6. Bishop d6 had been played. So black is ready to castle. White needs to finish up development, and probably they got to find a way for that bishop to play. Given the fact that the bishop on c4 is not to be challenged by the pawns, do you reckon, guys, maybe b3 is playable? You think b3 is playable? Let me highlight some ideas here for white. I'm looking at rook e1. I'm looking at b3. There you go. He just played it. So no engine needed, guys. This is a rapid game, by the way. 7 minutes 20 sec. 7 minutes 40 sec for Magnus here. Okay, so we're watching this game live, guys. This is a live game, not a recording or anything. It is a live game. So a very good exercise to try to anticipate what a super grandmaster plan is. Now the move b3, let me just highlight again, allows the bishop to play on b2 eventually. If you manage to play rook f, you could also push the very central move. I think that's absolutely... There you go. I think I predicted the last 5 moves Magnus had played. And now I'm really attracted by the rook fe1 and just very positionally taking a lot of space. e4, threatening a fork right here on e5. So, again, thanks for joining, guys. Either you came via TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or what else? Kick.com. Okay, so he played the knight that looks directly at c6. Pawn, that was. Now I don't know if you want to play knight c6. We've got to analyze this. Nope. Knight takes g6, h captures back. Still this one playable? I mean, I simply want to fork the pieces. So he took on c5 though. Okay, black's going to take back, of course. Question is, you're going to take back with a bishop, of course, because bishop being attacked, but you could take back with the knight, because then queen defends the bishop automatically. And the question is, yeah, you take with a bishop or you take with a knight. So that's a good question. Okay. So yeah, thanks to all my friends that joined the stream. It's a multi-broadcast stream, my friends. A multi-broadcast stream. Oh, that's an old message. Okay. So Wesley now with 6 minutes. 1 minute difference. So he gotta keep up with the pace. You gotta keep up. Let me tell you that the bishops are so nicely dominating. Look at these bishops. They're looking exactly in the right direction. And if you consider also the e4 potentially, that's interestingly, let me see. Okay, nice e5 now. Queen defends the bishop. Would you play the queen to e2? Reason being, you want to play rook ad and pin the bishop. Also, queen f3? Queen f3 or queen e2? Which one is it? Which one is it? Queen f3 or queen e2? Good question. This or that? I wouldn't trade the queens if I was white here. I would actually play the queen somewhere nice and safe. And I would move a rook from a1 over to d file where the black queen is. Hi there, Chief. Thanks for stopping by for this stream here. We are looking at Magnus Carlsen Wesley. So this is the losers quarterfinal. And later on, it's going to be the winners final. So Magnus Carlsen Wesley now. Magnus Carlsen and Wesley. Very live and a very, very human approach. Queen f3, there you go. So I'm loving it. I think I've covered like 5 or 6 or maybe more moves that Magnus had played, and I'm very happy to see that. So queen f3, my understanding is that rook would like to come over to d, or maybe one rook fd and rook ac. What do you think about this one, guys? So I guess the white rooks would like to position themselves on the open, both open files, because c and d are both open. Well, we don't know about that one. We don't know. I can't tell you who's going to win. I'm not rooting in particular for Magnus or for Wesley. I'm just enjoying the way they conduct the game. I can tell you that. I'm really enjoying the way they play. Rook ace to c. Okay. I guess in the minute there is a rook coming over to d, Wesley's going to play something like queen to b6 or something. Well, you can't play queen b6 because you lose this one. So actually, rook f to d would be something. You're going to go queen e7? Rook f, oopsie, hold on a sec. Rook fd and queen e7? That's a question. The reason I wouldn't go c is because rook ac, but then again, maybe you could play queen b8 or queen b6. Exactly the same. Exactly. There you go, rook fd. I think it's the 7th or the 8th move I'm correctly predicting. So if I play rapid, exactly like the Magnus himself does, the choice, I'm very happy about this one. Okay. Okay, there you go. And I covered that one too, queen c7. So rook ac, it's the same username. It's SorenChessCoach on chess.com or Lee Chess and on all social media. It's exactly the same username, so that is easier for people to find it. Hold a second, that's the live sent screenshot cover. I don't know. I'll just leave it as it is. Okay. Right. Fine. Let me just move this thing down a bit. Should be okay now. That one has to be closed. Just this. Cool. Magnus to play. So let's try make an exercise together here. I would probably play rook ac. The reason I would do that is because I want to move the rook from the corner where it doesn't do nothing over to C file where the black queen is. So I think that makes sense. Other than that, I don't see any big weakness or something I could possibly exploit for the time being. Again, I guess move your rook or play something like h3 or maybe h4, but that doesn't look good because there is a battery here with the bishop and the queen. And if they were to take on g3, you might get some isolated pawn on e3. You might get some bad double pawns on the G file. So I'm not sure though about pushing h3 or h4, but definitely I'd go for rook ac. And I think Magnus would better move a bit faster because he's on 3 minutes 40 seconds and you might be getting flagged because let me remind you guys, they started as a rapid, but actually they're gonna do bullet very soon. As soon as you go below 2 minutes, it's pretty much bullet. There you go, rook ac. I think it's the 8th or 9th move I'm predicting correctly. Okay, so they moved speed lightning here fast, very quickly. Rook ac1, exactly as I said, bishop e5 to trade off the dangerous dark square bishop, and bishop d4 by Magnus being played. And the reason is you're going to take with a pawn, and now knight's going to move, and then you're going to play the bishop attacking the queen directly with the rook behind. Now you could at least play this or that. Which one is going to be? Now this is just at the first glance. Something is loom. I think bishop takes e6, and when the queen takes, you're going to take another pawn. I mean, this is really the very important moment, the most important moment in this first rapid losers quarterfinal game in between Magnus Carlsen and Wesley. So this is the moment. I'm not sure about bishop e6, bishop e2, but anyway, I've highlighted. We could verify later on with the engine, with the softwares, if they agree with us. Anyway, he played the surprising, unexpected knight f1. Queen had moved away from the c file where the rook was there, threatening a discovered attack on the queen after bishop would have moved. So we take it step by step. Queen now, a little bit of pressure here. What do you do with the knight? What does he want to do with the knight? Knight e3. Why is that? The pawn on d4 nicely kept those squares from the knight, but knight now attacks the bishop, which will be replaced by the knight, I reckon. With pressure on e6, on d6 and a5. So if black knight captures on c4, knight on e3 takes back on c4, and that's sort of like an ideal outpost. It's just brilliant. Lovely. Super nice, super great, superb, let's say. And blitz soon to be bullet, guys. That's exactly what it is. So they had 10 minutes at the beginning, and now they going 3 and 2 minutes. h4 had been played. I did say h3 and h4 previously. Okay. Finally, Wesley played the f rook, which didn't do nothing really. It's always good. It is always a good idea. Get the rooks on open or semi-open files. Always, always. Is Magnus planning on king g2, amongst others? Maybe he wants to reroute the rooks over to the h or something? Is he planning, though? Something like this? Anyway, this guy is being attacked now twice. Defended by the rook, though, so... Knight takes is very good for white, and also go for Wesley. So let's see what's going to happen. I am as curious as you, my chess friends. Okay, that's cool. So that's a live game. Thank you for watching, my TikTok friends. Apologies if not reacting promptly to your messages on TikTok. It's because I'm having another chat here open via Restream, and I'm actually alternating in between the Restream chat and the TikTok chat. So again, apologies if I don't react very promptly. Okay, so I reckon Wesley wants to double up the rooks over to the C file. That would be triple attack on the C4 dangerous active lines square white bishop. So rook d to c, or he wants to play rook c to d. Which one is it, guys? You tell me which one is it. They are very versatile. Both black rooks now can switch sides very quickly, very swiftly on c or d file, respectively. So, yes. One minute. So, it's just bullet now, guys. It's going to be quite dramatic because this is just bullet chess. I've got to tell you, I would rather have them playing classical, longer time control because actually I like to think about the moves I want to play or about anything. I normally enjoy the thinking processes. And a little bit it pains me when I'm seeing so strong players having to move in just a span of a few seconds. Okay, rook takes c7, queen's going to take what, c7 or knight? Which one is it? You can't play now, rook c, so what did happen here? Oh my god, knight takes the knight, of course. Are you going to take with the knight? Of course you're going to take with the knight. Now, bishop c4, I think it's required straight away because it's reactivating of the bishop. I think you want to play the bishop on c4, right? If you don't play the bishop on c4, okay, he played king g2, interestingly. Anyway, it's worth noting, my friends, that Magnus is on 40 seconds. Crazy. You've got 40 seconds to play a chess machine like Wesley So. So you say. It's fabulous. Okay. Alrighty. Queen now goes for the b3, which is currently defended by the white queen, but also keeps an eye on the rook on d. So, you know, you've got to, all things considered, you got to play this one as wisely as possible. Knight to c, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, but that played h pawn had advanced to dismantle now the pawns defending the black king. We're going to see a rook f and a bishop c4, my chess friends. Very, very likely. This is the setup because the queen is looking at f7. With the rook on f3, that's quite a nice attack on f7. So queen took on b3, that makes sense. Rook f3, there you go. I think it's the 10th or the 11th move I'm nicely predicting from Magnus's choices. A killer of a move looks at the f pawn right now as we speak. If they push the g, I guess you can play something to attack the rook again with tempo, and then you're going to find your way over to f6 again. The threat is real. And we might have something like with the knight is pinned, by the way, my chess friends. Knight is pinned. That doesn't really... Oh, queen defends indirectly. Look at this beauty of a move. Queen captures the pawn. Looks a little bit at the a5. This is crazy bullet. Whew. This is a bullet. Wesley wants to trade. If Magnus trades, he got a problem because this is a passer. Knight's being attacked, though, twice. But also the rook is pinned. It's worth mentioning, guys. White rook can't move at all. Is pinned. Wesley attacks the queen. Check. Is he going to go for a perpetual? My question is. Is he going to play for a perpetual? Yeah, you could do stuff. I don't know. You could even do this. Guys, notice the bishop c4 with massive attacking power again on the square of doom, which is f7. So we're looking at bishop c4 and f7. Enormous, enormous pressure, my friends. Rook d7. Okay, they're going to do perpetual? We'll see about that. Again, we've got the bishop c4. It's incredibly powerful. That is why Wesley keeps attacking the white queen with the rook, because if you don't, if you give them a respite, if you give white a respite, you're gonna have a problem with bishop c4. This is the problem. So I think Magnus is gonna keep repeating. Yes, there you go, there you go. That's a draw. Fabulous game. Very nice. So that was the first rapid, guys. The losers quarterfinals. Let's look quickly before Magnus and Wesley play the second one. Let's look quickly at Jan Krzysztof Duda and Jan Nepomniachtchi. Okay. Again, another bullet. This guy is hanging. What is not hanging here? You know, what is not hanging here? Whose turn is it? Black's turn. King can't. Well, actually, wait a second. The king can move. The king can attack in this way. But after this one, you're going to go back. What are you going to do? All right. Let's see. Rook puts pressure also on the e3 white pawn. Knight attacks. Can we take? But then this guy's going to fall. Well, you can't have them all again. There you go. Rook takes e3. This guy is hanging on f5. Knight takes f5. Rook is being hit again. Rook now protects the pawn from the white rook. But that guy completely hanging. King moves. Bishop being attacked by the white rook. So bishop has to move. Notice how the rook and the bishop were hitting g3, but the knight was here to defend. This is a very important pawn. Wants to calm down, but also white has two free pawns. The problem is that the pawn on g3 is pinned. You're not going to be moving it very easily. And that's a very sharp ending, my friends, because it's 12 seconds with 50 seconds. So we could say that actually Nepomniachtchi enjoys more time. And, you know, for those of you that are playing blitzes or bullets, you know very well, guys, that every fraction of a second matters so much. It's a pawn race now, both colors. Both Ian and both Ians, because we got two Ian Nepomniachtchi, Jan Krzysztof, both of them trying to push their respective pawns to the end of the board for promotion. So king moved away from the pin. The pawn on g3 is no longer pinned, so I suspect he wants to move king over to g5. Okay, so this guy is stopped for the time being. There you go, exactly as I said. There is the possibility of delivering checkmate. King moves over to f6, check again. King moves around the knight, check again from the bishop. This guy needs only one step for promoting. It's madness. It is madness. Check, black king is in check. Bishop is attacked as we speak. Check again. This is crazy fast because it's bullet, ladies and gents. 9 seconds, 7. You just see it on the screen yourselves, my friends. This guy only needs a square, one tempo to promote. Rook now supporting the advancement. Pinning of the knight. Pinning of the knight. Is white... white actually enjoys two pawns here. I'm not sure you could do anything because bishop is more than happy to... Exactly. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to do anything. It's going to be a draw, ladies and gents. So that was the first round in the losers quarterfinals, and soon enough, guys, we're going to see again a second rapid here. We're going to see Magnus Wesley playing again. Magnus is going to have black and Wesley going to be white, and vice versa. The other two, Nepomniachtchi and Duda, going to be playing. So two draws, my friends, 2 draws until now. I think we can do a quick puzzle before they will be returning with their rapids. Thank you for visiting the stream, my friends. I greatly appreciate. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done it so. That's awesome. So let me go to a quick puzzle here before we return with the rapids. Okay, it's a beautiful king and pawns ending here. The same material, but actually there is a pawn majority. I'm playing with white, right? There is a pawn majority here. And definitely black would like to moving this guy down here. Obviously, the white king cannot stop the black pawn on the h file. It's impossible to stop it. So forget about moving the king, I suspect. It's something to do with the white pawns here. And obviously, you can't push it because they're going to take and you'll never do it. So my understanding would be we simply have to play a4 to a5, I gather. We got to play a5. and black's gonna play, and then I'm gonna push the other pawn. They're gonna be here. Well, they're gonna take. When they're gonna take, actually, I'm not gonna capture. I'm gonna keep moving forwards because I want to check the king like this. So I guess that should be the solution here. In between ourselves, my friends, I really don't see how can white play differently than a5 and b6, and after pawn takes, you're just going to continue your journey. So this is the critical moment now. Or do you reckon this and this? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's got to be this way. So guys, this is the moment of the truth. Takes or going forwards. Going forwards meaning you're gonna promote in 3 squares first, checking the black king. So this is the way to play and to win. And we're gonna go back to Magnus Carlsen in a jiffy. So let me just go forwards. I'm happy I was correct at least about this one. So white is going to promote, you're going to check the king, they're going to be step aside, and the queen will be stopping any attempt from black to promote. So that's exactly how we're supposed to do. Hey David, good to see you, my friend. How's it going? How is things, my friends? Good to see you, folks. Good to see everyone, either via TikTok or via some other platforms. Okay, let's see if Magnus had returned with Wesley for the Rapid Champion Chess Tour. This is it. Yes, back to Magnus and Wesley. Come on, folks. Let's see Magnus and Wesley. Have they started? Where's the game? Where's the game? So, guys, what we're going to see this afternoon is Magnus Wesley and Nepomniachtchi Duda. And depends on our friends. We could also cover Ali Reza and MVN later on. So yeah, let's look at this one for the time being. And they're supposed to be starting any minute now. Okay, they need a break and they'll be playing a rapid. They will play a rapid. News, schedule, come on folks. So that's it. Losers quarterfinals and then winners finals, July the 21st. And tomorrow, July the 22nd, we got losers semifinal and losers final, and 24th grand final. Yeah, let's see who's gonna win it. But they haven't started yet. Do you know what that means, guys? I think we can go for another quick puzzle, my friends. Let's go for another quick one. Beautiful, beautiful. This. Yeah. Well, let me stop the mic. All right, let's go back to our thing. Sorry for the digression. I had to negotiate. Right. Black to play here. Let's see what do we do. Well, we are in check first thing first, and we can either capture the C or we can capture the B pawn. Which one's gonna be? Well, we can take the guy in the middle because if I take this guy, they're gonna be playing, and I can't stop them. My king is gonna be stuck forever. At the same time, there is this guy, but also I may be just very well promoting. I'm not sure which one is it though. It might be this though, because I have to stay close proximity to this guy. I need to step into the promotion square. So it might be very well king c5. If I take on B, Chiflau, if I take on B5, I'm outside the promotion square for this guy. Yeah, I'm promoting first. I'll give you that. Okay, I understand. I do promote first. But they also promote, right? So this is actually not as simple as we might think. It's not simple at all. King takes to B5, I'm not sure. King B or King C, one of these two. I don't think there's anything else. I'm not sure which one is it. Feel free, guys, to give me your best thoughts here. So either king B or king C. Yeah, the knight could potentially be used indeed to stopping this guy. So knight can stop this guy. Jump, you know, you just jump around, you stop it. So probably the pawn in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna commit for king b5, and if this guy advances, we're gonna have to use the black knight to stopping them. And that's about it. Okay, so now that's cool. We're gonna play this, they're gonna go here. We're gonna do this, they're gonna go, wait a second, we gotta find another way. Wait. No, I got this. Check, and then this. Yes, gotta be this. And now I've gotta go, wait. This one, right? Because I gotta stop this pawn. Ooh, now I gotta chase this guy. I gotta take it straight away. Now I gotta take this guy. Okay, whew, I was lucky. Okay, back to Magnus Carlsen. Back to Magnus Carlsen. Let's see that one. Let's see what they played. They started, right? Let's see the game. Come on, guys. Where's the game? Where's the game? Give me the games. Crunch Lab Masters. Takes a lot of clicks to getting there. There you go. They started. Come on, let's see them together. Okay, cool. Rapid had just started. Bishop c4. Wesley White. Magnus plays black here. Black's turn to play. Well, you can castle, for instance. There you go. Castled. And you can castle too with white. You could also play some knight b3 if you think so. Nah, rook to c. That's probably quite cool because you can move the queen away from the c file and then you're going to be threatening some bishop move and rook attacks. You could also castle here with white. I don't think you should be delaying for too long. There you go. There you go. Magnus needs to finish up the development. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to move the bishop. You're going to move the queen away from the c file. They all make sense. If you move the queen, where are you going to move the queen? You're going to move queen where? He played the bishop to finalize the development of his pieces. Now, white to play. I'm very much interested in moving the queen away from the c. Probably the knight's going to play something like this at some point. Yeah, but then there is a fork. Nah, you're not going to do it. Queen B, queen B, queen B, or what else? Or this. Queen b3, queen b1, queen e4. Bishop c4, trading off the queens now. Okay. Also, there's this. If queens come off the board now, we might be having knight c4. And knight e5 potentially. But let's see. Let's just take it step by step here. What is black going to play? Queen b6, moving away, of course. If you don't want to trade, that is. But if you play queen b6, there is this. So what did you actually do? That's bad. So taking queen, yeah. And rook had to capture back. Awkwardly positioned the bishop. The bishop on d7 is not that greatly positioned. It's not that awesome. Okay, rook goes on the c. You could play rook fc. There you go. And now you can play what? You could play this. Oh, what else is here? Oh, you can play 97. Exactly. 97. Exactly. Rook takes. Okay. That's going to be another draw, ladies and gents. That is going to be another draw. Of course. Another draw. Pieces exchanged, traded. Bishop f3 seems to be interesting. Okay, so he gets the king in the center. You got to move those pieces. You got to play them. You got to move those pieces. You got to move the knight. Okay. G2 under attack from the bishop on c6. Could you play king f2? No, he moved. Now the bishop is supremely controlling the line square diagonal, but you could play bishop f3 and neutralize that bishop perhaps. If you really want to, you could just push the pawn. Which one is it? Bishop f3 or e4? Which one is it? Of course, you could play knight b3. There's a lot of things you could consider here. Wesley got like 8 minutes, so he got plenty of time to choose wisely. Knight b3, knight e4 could be knight b3, knight d4. Bishop d3 attacking the h7 pawn. Again, e4 is playable. King goes towards the center. But if you push the e4, there will be some knight coming over to d6, attacking it twice, so you got to be careful about that. Knight b3, knight d4 possible as well. No, he won knight b6. Goes for some trades. Takes and takes. That's a draw. This is a draw. There is no big weakness anywhere. Both colors, both players will aim to place their pawns on the color opposite the bishops. Same color bishops. There's nothing but a draw here. There is just a draw. I don't think you should be forcing anything. It's just as it is, a draw, ladies and gents. That's just a draw. Okay. Yeah, thank you, my TikTok viewers. Appreciate, guys, your presence. This is a live game happening. It's the losers quarterfinals. Later on, guys, is going to be the winners final, comprising of 2 super grandmasters disputing it. It's Alireza Firouzja playing for France and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. So a very, very French winners final later on today. Okay, all the pawns, notice my friends, all the pawns had been placed on dark squares. All of the pawns, both white and black pawns, all of them on dark squares here. That's a draw. I mean, there is simply no weakness you can focus on. Of course, it matters the king's position and stuff, but you're not going to make any progress here. Okay, that's going to be a threefold repetition. There you go. Let's go to Duda and Nepomniachtchi because that's the only one happening now. That's a more interesting position. They haven't traded everything as Magnus did and Wesley. Beautifully positioned bishop here. Look at this bishop. I mean, look at this bishop. Beautiful bishop. You can't challenge that bishop, neither with a pawn, nor with the dark square black bishop. You don't have it. And the black knight is a little bit weird. Knight on the margin. Now goes on to f6 because it didn't do nothing over there. The bishop just covering all the dark squares. Knight f6 now playing. Probably he wants to jump on d5. That makes sense. Makes sense. Knight d5. Knight takes. Bishop takes. And then again. I think that looks like a draw. Again. I think it's a draw. I think it might be a draw again, my friends. Really. I don't see how you can improve onto... Okay, that's it's a rook battery probably here on the c5. That's what Nepomniachtchi wants to do. He wants to do a battery, a rook's battery. I guess he wants to do it on the c5, right? c5 potentially for some rook c7. Ideally, for white would be to place a rook onto c7. Ideally. I guess. There you go. Rook battery on the c file, exactly as we had announced, and we are going to see a rook c7. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I like it. Knight d5 is not going to help because it's going to be traded straight away, I guess. Yes, there you go. Rook c7 right now. If it's not rook c7, I really don't know what is the plan that Nepomniachtchi could go for. Really, really rook c7. Oh, queen d3 first. He wants to go g6. That's an improvement of the queen's position. You want to play queen g6, I reckon. But now, what do you play? Rook? But then the other rook will be playing. Yeah, but then I'm going to play on the back rank. Yeah, but then the rook's going to block again. What's going to be? You can't play queen g6 now, obviously, because the black queen had been placed on e8. Very, very, very good for black. Defend in this way. Defend the g6. Queen a6 now. Try to keep an eye on the a7 black pawn, perhaps. Still rook c7. If rook takes. Yeah, and then you're going to be winning on a7. Not a bad one. I think it's working. And I noticed, guys, that Nepomniachtchi has like 7 minutes and 17 seconds, whereas Duda only 3 minutes 20. So better for Nepomniachtchi here. It's better for Nepomniachtchi, yeah. Okie dokie. So far, so good. What can black play to prevent? He attacks the queen. If you take here, it's going to be something like bishop e4, for instance, attacking the queen with the rook and attacking the rook. So queen takes a7 is not really doable. You might have to move the white queen. Where do you move the queen? He took. Crazy. Now he created 2 passes, Nepomniachtchi. 2 passes he created. And look how white's going to win. Look how the bishop actually does not allow rook b8. Well, you can play rook b7. Okay, I think white is totally supposed to be winning. He got a superior position. He got free pawns. 2 free pawns on A and B. You can't stop those. And the dark square white bishop is absolutely ideal. And you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing to challenge the b8. You can't go on the b8 with the rook because there is a bishop on e5. You could play rook b7, right? Could you? Maybe you could. Rook b7. I mean, as an act of desperation, what else can you possibly do here if you're playing with the black pieces? What else? What else is here? Okay, so what did he play? Queen g6 played. Why? Why Queen g6? Okay, defending this guy, maybe something like pawns moving down the board and challenging, opening up the G and H, leading to the white king and things. Okay. But I guess Yan is not going to sit and wait. Yeah, rook c7 is long overdue. Some piece is going to come off the board now. Interestingly, he doesn't. He pushes the pawn. I think that's a bluff. You don't need to do nothing about that pawn. Let them push if they want, or let them take if they want. He pushed it up. Okay, okay. So he doesn't want to risk any opening, any unnecessary opening. Black is seriously struggling with the time. Would you take? He pressurizes. He plays the queen very nicely with increased pressure on g7, forcing black to probably take or defending the rook. Do you defend the black rook with queen e8 or queen f7, or do you take? If you take, you might get in trouble because queen attacks your rook. There is a pressure on g7 anyway. And then the other rook might be coming to f7. So do you take or do you defend the rook? Of course, not mentioning the A and B free pawns ready to move up the board. So yeah, okay, rook takes, queen takes. Rook retreated now to g8 to desperately defend g7. That's a problem for black. The g7 is totally a problem there. That's for sure. b4, exactly. So Ian is supposed to be winning this position here. He got 6 minutes almost. He got 2 free pawns. He got a superior position here. If you want to throw in this rook to f7, that will do. But I guess you could just push the pawns. That's not going to do nothing. I guess we could play right now rook f7 if I'm correct. I guess that will be one of those moves. It might be some g3 happening, to which you might need to play bishop. It's very sharp though, very sharp. It's very sharp. It's not quite over yet. You need to conduct this one very wisely. Of course, that's truism, but hey. Okay. Sorry guys, if I haven't responded to your TikTok messages. It's because I'm having 2 tabs with messages, and that's just... White turn. No, Jan is having 5 minutes here. He played rook f7. As I had suggested myself, those 3 pieces are killing it. He moved on h3. No check possible apart from bishop g. There is no check possible apart from this. I think Duda's going to resign. I think he's going to resign. You can just push one of the pawns. You could just push b5, for instance. What would you do here, David? Chief, what would you do here, guys? Would you push b pawn? Frankly, what's wrong with this guy going on b5? You want to b5, b6, unstoppable, b7, b8. I don't see what black can play here. There you go. b5, exactly as we said. Exactly as we said, guys. I don't see how you can stop that guy. Duda's going to resign. He's going to resign. So we can say that Nepomniachtchi won, actually, the second rapid against... Okay, he took on g3. Okay. I wonder if you could have just pushed the pawn. Okay. I wonder. 18 seconds, even less for Krzysztof now. Duda, what is he playing? Well, he just wants to checkmate. That's exactly what he wants to. Rook defends g2, incredibly important because there is checkmate. Rook now goes back to attacking a3, which is a liability now. Would you play bishop now? Not really. There is a check here coming, but maybe you can drop. Yeah, but this guy is falling because the bishop is on e. So it's not that easy. Not that easy. I guess... Yeah. I guess you should be exploiting that pawn. You could, potentially, perhaps. There is more to this. There is more to this. If you push the pawn, there is a rook a3. Yeah, there was rook a3. It's a lot of pressure. You got to play this one very carefully. I guess white is supposed to win, but the danger is not completely vanished. You still have to play carefully the position here. Yes, you're winning, but there is tactics still floating here. Gotta be careful. Previously, with queen and rook here, you could have been seriously damaged. I mean, you would have just lost. So queen c3 was a bit necessary, so to speak. Was necessary. Yeah. Oops. So yeah, the key to victory is to simplify and to take advantage of the B file pawn. That's totally usable for white here. Yeah, there is also queen c2. Okay, so he played rook d2, protecting this guy because he was attacked twice. Rook now attacks the queen. You could play this if you want, queen d3, and you're going to trade off the black queens. And I think that's a very good stuff to play. Queen d3, queens come off the board, you defend everything, you got no problem, right? Or there is a problem after rook plays here and attacks you twice there. I don't think you're going to get checkmated, but it's a difficult position. Again, white is supposed to win. I guess you're supposed to win here with white. Queen d3, exactly what I suggested. Queen takes, rook takes, and exactly what I said. Rook going for this. You're not going to get checkmated. You can't move the rook to defend g2, but you don't get check. You got to be careful, though. Wait a second. Okay, bishop moved away. Rook's going to take. Or bishop's going to... Well, if the bishop takes, you're going to have to move the king. Yes, you're not going to move 1h because it would have been a discovered check, so you don't want to move that one. Bishop went back. Again, there is 2 passes here, so I guess white should be winning. And if you consider actually Krzysztof is on 5 seconds, I guess that should do. Rook moved on dark squares. This guy being attacked now. Are you going to defend it? Yes, with the bishop. Very nice. The bishop and the pawn forming a natural barrier against the rook on the b file. So the b5 had been shielded. You can also play this if you want to. Pawn takes, okay. Rook defends the pawn. You could play the other pawn. Definitely you can play the other pawn. a4 and then a5. That quite will be okay. He sacked and exchanged because he's got a ton of pawns. Yeah, that guy's gonna go, but that's a check though. Yeah, you can just defend with bishop e5, I reckon. Bishop e5, and you keep everything. He doesn't even bother. He goes for the queen. Now you can just attack with the king. You can go towards the rook with the king. The bishop will be guarding the h if necessary. Just go towards the... Exactly. Yeah, just attack. Attack, attack, attack. Okay, the other guy is falling. He's gonna resign, Duda. Yeah, he's gonna resign. Why? Because the bishop is going to take the pawn and the white pawn is going to be promoted. So in this position here, absolutely no, not a slight of a chance for black to stopping this guy. The king is miles away. The black king is miles away. And this guy is going to be stopped by the bishop, who is going to capture straight away. And this guy is actually becoming a queen. So there's no way for white to win or to hope for anything. That's it. Nice one. So Nepomniachtchi won the second rapid he played. Let me see the results. I think they need to play until it's like 3 points or something. Okay, I can see you can win with 2.5. I'm not sure what's the minimum of points necessary for a player to win, but actually I can see also 1.5 will do. Any difference? Because if it's any difference, that means you can just simply qualify with 1.5. Okay, but Magnus and Wesley, they definitely need to keep playing because it's 1-1. So someone has to be declared winner in between Magnus Carlsen and Wesley. So okay, so they're gonna be playing more rapids, and we're gonna see them, guys. Should we go for another quick puzzle before we watch the other game, the other rapid? Okay, white to move here. Okay, let's see. I got a check here with the queen, and I like this one the most. There's also a check with the rooks on the back rank, but is it really? It might be. Rook plays, check, moves here, and then, yeah, I'm winning the rook then. Yeah, I'm winning the rooks, but is this really the stuff to play? Nah. I mean, okay, I can win the other rook because I got a check and I take it, but is this the stuff? Let me look at something else. Queen e6, checking. If king goes here, I've got a checkmate on d7. And if king goes here, I will have another check here. And if king goes in the corner, then I gotta figure out something. Where's the other check though? Where's the other? Maybe after they play, actually, queen e6, king moves, checks, 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 bang, king moves here. They kind of escape, don't they? Yeah, I can win the rook, but... Okay, wait a minute. It's got to be something with attacking. Rook takes, queen takes, then no. Queen e6, they move here. Oh, but then I could play this. Oh, yeah. It's queen e6, and the check is here, guys. The check is on e5, it's not on d6. The check is on e5 because you also need the battery after king goes in the corner. You need the battery to do the back rank checkmate. So it's queen e5. It's queen e5. If king goes to c, you're going to checkmate on c7. If king goes in a corner, you're going to go with the back rank check. Rook takes, queen takes, and checkmate. That's it. So it's actually queen e5, and the battery looks for the e8 square. And now queen takes, and that is indeed the checkmate on the back rank. So they are tricky, you see. They are tricky, guys. Yeah, so people, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, fellas, and virtually on any social media more accessible to yourselves. And hello, Mosen. Watching Magnus Carlsen and Wesley. Let's see actually if the guys returned. Wait a sec. They were supposed to play, at least Magnus and Wesley were supposed to be playing another one because it's a 1-1. Magnus and Wesley losers, quarterfinals. Later on, Mosen is going to be the final, the winners final. But for the time being, it's losers quarterfinals. How's yourself, man? How's the stream going for yourself? How's it going, guys? Okay. Cool stuff. Okay. Shall we perhaps do another puzzle? Because I don't see any move. Okay, let's do another puzzle then. I guess I gotta play some knight here over to g5. I think it's some knight g5 required here because there is a checkmate on h7. And also I'm sort of protecting against the f3 if that would be. Although we gotta be careful. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. They're always so tricky. Yeah, I think it's knight g5. I think it's knight g5. I mean, it's gotta be knight g5, right? 3 versus 3 minor pieces. Okay, I'm down a rook though, but if I play knight g5 and my opponent still goes with bishop f3, I don't think I will take on f3. I think I'm going to move the king over to c1, I guess. Because my knight on g5 is needed for delivering of the checkmate. So I don't think I should take on f3 if the bishop goes f3 after knight g5. No, I know it's right. I don't doubt it, Mosen. But as exactly as I said, the question is after bishop f3 checking the y king, the question is if you take that bishop or move c1. If you move c1, there is no other check apart from bishop d2 or bishop b2. And I don't really care about those ones because I'm going to capture. So I guess we're supposed to move king c. Because if I take, again, I'm losing an incredibly essential tempo for the knight, which is actually supporting queen for the h7 checkmate. That's actually what we're looking for. So exactly as you said, and exactly as I deciphered by myself, I guess it's king c1 very important here. Exactly right. And we did say if bishop d2, we're just going to take it. We're just going to take it. Well, Okay, that's still not a checkmate, though. That's not a checkmate. We're absolutely fine with this. We are absolutely fine with this. Not a problem. Even after this check were to happen, I'm not going to take the pawn because I'm exposing my king to various check. I'm just going to move the king to d and stuff like that. I don't even bother. Checkmate is coming, guys. One, and that's it. One here. Even if rook goes, it's too late for them. Okay, let's go back to Magnus Carlsen and Wesley So now, guys, and see if they actually started to play again. The second rapid. Come on, boys. First champion chess tour games. Where's the games, guys? Schedule. Wait a second. We're gonna get there. Wait a minute. Man, why do they put it behind so many clicks and things?
Queen's Indian. This is a
Champion chess tour results schedule. Wait a minute. Oh, this is it. Yeah, ongoing. Yeah, ongoing. Where is it? Something's weird on this page. They were supposed to make it more accessible. I don't want to listening to anything. Okay, fine. There you go. Wesley Magnus are supposed to be starting. Yes, it'll be a French winner final this evening in between Firouzja and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. There you go. Magnus e4, e5. Let's see this one together. Knight f3, knight 6. We can do Italian or Spanish. Bishop c4, the bishop c5, the gioco piano or the Italian game the same. They play very quickly. Are they going to draw? What are they doing here? Hello, Trouter. Now that's a good question. Is it Armageddon? No, it's not. Is it Armageddon? No, it's not. Now that's a good question. I don't know what happened. It might be one of those strange formats. I really don't know what happened. Is Magnus supposed to be winning and Black is supposed to just draw in order to qualify? There might be some weird type of format now. And good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by today. It could be some, yeah, it could be some weirdness. So knight can go D, F, and G, or E, and then F5. It's a lot of dancing with the knight, but that's what normally happens. D4 is required at some point to be played. And there's Gioco piano. Well, he's a French citizen. And Fabi is an American Italian. He has double nationality, so he can play for United States if he wants. So Fabi is as American as Italian, Mosen, you say. He is as American as Italian. D5. Now that's getting quite tactical, and we're going to have some pawn breaks right here in the center. D4, which one is it? Because if you capture, you're going to be helping Black to activate the knight, which is going to happen. Queen takes. Now that is surprising. What are you going to play here? Bishop b3, knight b3, c4, you name it. Queen e2. There's so many things. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's a sort of Armageddon, right? Yeah, white needs to win. And yes, Magnus should absolutely go for a kill now because there is no other way to compromise with anything. So he needs to win. And he got his extra time. Now the question, is he going to play knight to E or is he going to play knight to G3? That's a good question. There's many things that may happen here. I think knight would be cool because it hits the queen. He went G3. Okay. There's many things happening. And they're moving quite fast. The bishop on c1 looks at h6. Bishop e3, really? You trading the bishop now? That was a little bit unexpected, I have to say, to seeing Magnus eager to trade off the dark square bishop. I thought that bishop was meant to actually stay on the board here. I mean, you don't really want to simplify things, right? I don't see any big weakness you might be going after, being white here. I really... Yeah, there is rook AD, you name, there is many strategical ideas actually now, because this is a point in which the game is incredibly strategical. And how are you going to create an attacking idea here? What do you do? Because if you do something like this, more trades are going to happen. Knight's going to take. You take with what? Exactly. I just said, knight takes. What do you take back with? You take with the queen, queen takes, and whatever. It's going to go towards a draw. There you go. I'm sorry to have him predicted this moves. I'm not very happy about him. Queen's going to move away from the D, obviously. I'm not sure where you're going to move the queen. You can move along across the 6th rank exactly. Queen e7 decided to. Okay, at least the rooks makes a pressure on the B. So probably black rook is going to take. Or is going to push down the pawn. Well, that's a question that actually takes a lot of time to properly evaluate it. There you go. b4, he pushed the pawn, as we said. And now the bishop makes a beautiful pin. Knight pinned to the rook. What do you play? You play bishop b7 or you play bishop d7? No, he played bishop b7 because it's good to looking towards the white king in principle. So bishop b7 here. But it's worth considering, guys. The bishop is still, the knight is still in a pin. Could you increase the attack with rook c5? You guys tell me, what do you think about this? Or do you take the bishop, bishop takes, and then you're going to take the pawn on e5? There is a lot of ideas, and all of a sudden it is time consuming. Do you know what is interesting? You're getting yourself into this kind of stuff, and you really need those minutes, you know. You need more time to think this one through properly. You could play many things here. Yeah, so exactly. So he took the A. I guess he's gonna go for the E5 as well. If black takes, you're gonna take with the queen, I guess. Pressure on the C file. It's beautiful, and he might have just created some pawn majority on the queen side now for white. It's starting looking fascinating, beautiful. That's what we want to see. It's still a rapid, soon to be a blitz. In this one, I think he feels quite confident about his position. Being with white here, I think he likes it. I think he enjoys this position now. He likes it. We'll see. Queen moved over to the d6, so now double defense on the e5, rook and queen. And there is a battery. He wants to trade. He wants to get into an ending in which he is superior. He goes into an ending. The question, yes, exactly as I said, he took with the queen and now he's got pawn majority. He is very happy. I think rook a to c. There you go. Exactly as I said. And it's a lot of pressure along the c file. If the bishop moves, I'm going to take anyway. I'm going to take on c7. You can't defend the bishop twice. You got no other piece to defend the bishop. So you got to decide where to move the bishop. You have to move the bishop. Okay, rook. Sorry, apologies. Rook. Okay. He going to push the b5. Okay, he going to play what? Hold on a second. You can't push it now because it's two defenders on the b5 square. So you can't push right now. Can you make a triple attack with rook e to c, asking for a friend, although the e4 is hanging, guys? Or do you play some preparation? Okay, he goes for this. I guess he goes for knight f5. Beautiful outpost. Absolutely superb. And you can play all sorts of stuff. I don't know. Do you play f3? or rook c1 directly. Which one is it, guys? No, he goes a4, interestingly, because if the bishop takes, you hit on c7 straight away, and you attack g7 with the knight and the rook. This is glorious. I think he's going to win it now. Bishop takes, rook c7, and it doesn't even matter where you're moving the queen because g7 is gone. That's it. This is it now. We can look at b5 exactly. That's it. It's the pawn storm. You can't stop it. That's it. It's gone. This is it. This is it. It is done. Excellent played. Excellent play this game. Fabulous. Look at the outpost. That's not going to cut it. You're just going to push that pawn, I guess. You're going to push b6, right? You're going to push b6. You're going to play the other a6, and I think black is going to just resign. Yeah, you could play also rook c. Yeah, I think that's also to be considered as well. Yeah, that makes sense. Because when you have the triple attack on c8, that makes it impossible for black to capture on b5. So it could be, but no, he goes for my idea, b6. Bishop e7 being played to stop a6 exactly as I said, but that doesn't mean you can't play rook a1. And following rook a1, I think, oh, he plays queen b3. He played queen b3 for rook d to hit the queen, and that is why Wesley played rook d8. That's exactly why. But it is unstoppable. The pawn majority here is unstoppable. Yeah, you're not going to be able to stop it, I guess. I think we might be seeing this, and then queen c4 and a6. Or is there anything else? Nah, yeah, I don't think so. You want to keep the knight on f5. I'm not sure you want to drop knight e3 right now. Yeah, I'm not sure you want to drop. Yeah, rook d attacking. He's happy to chase the queen. And gaining the d6 incredibly important square, either for knight or you name it. Queen's got to move. And then knight to d. Oh, he attacks the queen. Okay, fine. Rook takes, pawn takes, check. b7 is hanging. And when you move the b, the pawn goes up the board. Fantastic. Okay. So this guy is hanging, taking it right now because you may not get another opportunity, and the b7 pawn is moving. It is definitely moving. The knight is super happy. The knight should stay where they currently are. And yeah, the b pawn is going up. Probably Wesley is going to sort of resign. Okay, there is still a little bit of counter game here, but what do? You check, right? Rook c, he wants to trade off, and stopping rook to go to c and things. That's it. I guess that's it. Yeah, it could be a little bit of a pressure on the g, which Wesley just does it straight away. Both black rooks. Look, yeah, I think knight e3 was a very nice preparation idea, Mosen. Yeah, I think you might be right about this. We could play knight h5, right? I think we can play knight h5 right now, and I don't see what else you can create. I guess knight h5. I like knight h5, I guess. Knight e3. Okay, he goes knight e3. Fine. Yeah, he goes knight e3. That was really cool. That was really cool. I liked it. Okay, he dominated in the second rapid. He dominated. That is for sure. Gorgeous. Very good stuff. Very good stuff indeed. Very good stuff indeed. So now Magnus, I think, is it qualified, guys? For let me go and verify the results here. So Magnus currently leads with a point. I think he is the winner, right? I can see yesterday MVL was declared the winner with 2.5 versus 1.5 against Dimitri Andreikin. So that makes me wonder if Magnus Carlsen is the winner of the quarterfinals now that he just played with Wesley. or they're going to be another game. We'll see about that, but I guess we got a time to actually do another quick puzzle, my friends, before they actually return. If they return, okay, let's go for this one here. Black to move. They get a queen in 2, but I get a queen in 3 with check. That could be a difference. We can't stop this. We can't stop c7 and c8 queening, but we can definitely push our own guy. They get a queen, but I get a queen too with check, and we'll take it from there. Then king's gonna go to h, and yeah, it's gotta be b3, because if you don't do b3, you're kind of like delaying a very important tempo. Other than that, I really don't think so. So king had moved now, sort of like prophylactically. We could still push the guy though. Bang, boom, queen, and queen. And then, you know, if you trade off stuff, you might be having another pass pawn. So, okay, gonna be queen and queen, right? There you go. Crazy. If the queens were to disappear from the board right now, my friends, if both queens and both white queens and both black queens, you're gonna have another queen here because the king is miles away from that guy. So, but how do you trade them? Hello, Strobex. Good to see you, my friend. How's it going? And now the big question is if I should be trading already. Queen takes, and then I should be winning because actually I'm having, you know, even if I make the connection with my pawn, I should be winning, right? I can't check the king, but I can definitely start to trading off the pieces. I think this is important now. So queen takes, my idea would be, and then I don't know, moving the pawn. Yeah, just covering Magnus Carlsen versus Wesley So Strobex. Just covering that live game and trying to do a puzzle in between the games, so to speak. I'm trying to do a puzzle Schwitzenzug in between the games. Okay, so I think I'd go for queen straight now. Queen takes, and I don't think there's any reason to not trade. It could be queen f2. It might be queen f2 as well. You're winning a pawn, but they take another pawn here, right? Yeah, but then we might have a check with the other queen. This guy goes here. Then they go here. Then they go here. Then... No, they can't. Yeah, it might be queen f2, man. It might be Strobex. Either queen f2 or queen c. It might be queen f. Given the fact we can't be... Well, yeah, you can't be checked because queen f2 also defends f5 twice. We're still having the black queens defending f5. So that makes me think that actually queen f2, the move you have found, is actually the correct move. So Strobex, thank you for saving the puzzle. And yeah, queen f2. Totally queen f2. Totally. Okay, that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense, but obviously the puzzle had been solved by Strobex now. You solved it, my friend. Excellent. Now, I don't know if just rook takes and then queen d5. Oh, was it? Oh, it was Mosen. Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah. Excellent insights, Mosen. That is indeed the case, yes. So that makes me think rook takes, bishop takes, and then queen over to d5 check. And I should be winning the piece, right? Unless there is a queen a8 check, but then they could do, for instance, king here and then another check here. But yeah, but that's just weird. I'll take, because if there is this, I'm dropping the rook back, so I'm not in a danger to getting... I have to be careful though about the back rank. Exactly right, Trouter. I gotta be careful about the back rank issues here. You guys are correct. So if I'm having a check and they go wherever they go, I might have back rank though. And if they go here, no, this is it. It doesn't matter because I'm doing it with tempo. I'm doing it with tempo, and I've got more than time, more than enough time to play any pawn. So that was brilliant, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see if Magnus had returned. If Nepomniachtchi plays Duda, do they play or not? Let me see the results again. Champion Chesto, Crunch Labs. I don't see any green stuff that actually designates a winner for the quarterfinals. What I do know for sure is that today Ali Reza are going to play MVL. That is true. That is absolutely the case. Hey guys, another puzzle, folks. Oof, I think yeah, let's do another puzzle here. Black to play. Okay. What do we do? There's something to do with this pawn if I am to win. And I'm in check, by the way. Oh, I'm winning the opposition, right? Rook takes, king takes, and I'm going to march on with the king in front of my pawn. Stuff like that. Yeah, well, we have to trade. Mosen, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. But that would be a mistake to push the pawn. The idea would be playing the king and trying to getting in front of our guys. Oh no, because they win the opposition, we're supposed to go E. Right? Hold on a sec. No, what? Why not? Why not E7? They win the opposition. Wait a minute. I'm getting in front of my... I play King E6. Hello, Ishanks. I played. That's weird. Yeah, it could be F6. Make an opposition. I have to make the opposition myself. Yeah. And now they have to move on the side. Yes, yes. Yes, now they have to step on the side. And then I'm going to go either left or right. That is correct. So I do have to make the opposition myself versus my opponent's king. And then they need to go left or right. And then I'm going to gain access. Exactly right. Thank you, Mosen. That's indeed the stuff. That's a check. That's another check. One check, two checks. There's something with this bishop here. I'm not sure. Is there something with the knight first? Okay, let's say knight takes, pawn or whatever, and then we're gonna play this guy. No, it doesn't work. Knight takes, pawn takes, and then we're gonna do this. Or this. Which one is it? I think I need to take the knight on c3 first because I need to not having knight blocking my check from the queen. So I've got to do something to get rid of the knight on c3. And then delivering some check. And that should be working because I've got also the bishop. And also knight c3 checks the king and removes a potential defender of e. Yeah. Okay. So that was the whole thing. Removing the defender of the e2, and then we can go with I'm not sure which one is it. Probably any of the two will do because we also have the bishop here. So that's it. That was it. That was the thing, guys. Okay. I have advertised that actually I'm covering Magnus and Wesley, so that's exactly what I want to do. But the question is if they're going to play another one or they just finished for now. So 1.5 for Nepomniachtchi. I guess he's qualified, guys, and 2-1 for Magnus. I can't remember the format if that requires to play a minimum number of games, but anyways, I'm keeping an eye on that. Yeah, I think from a psychological point of view, you might be a little bit more relaxed when you're playing a bot because you're not having expectations. When you play a human, you always have a hope, an expectation. You're getting frustrating and stuff like that. When you play the engine and you lose against the engine, you practically don't feel nothing because you're expecting to lose against the engine. So no one is having ambition to beating the machine, not even an incredibly strong grandmasters. Okay? So everyone is bound to lose when they're versing a machine. So I think it serves a purpose in terms that you could check your accuracy on an impersonal level. So you're playing chess, you're being impersonal, you are devoid of emotions and feelings, you're producing your best thoughts like a cold killer machine, you know. So it might serve as a purpose, but ultimately you would be versing a human either over the board or online. So I think that's a tool for preparation. Versing the machine is great, but at the same time, you need to verse to practice against humans because over the board, your official rating, FIDE, LO, ECF, whatever. No, there's never a waste. Maybe your coach wanted to say that maybe playing all the time or something like that, because it does serve a purpose. It's an infallible opponent. The software doesn't make mistakes, and you can test your accuracy against the robot and stuff. So again, use the software when you're versing, you're playing, but also play against humans. Black to move here. Okay, let's try do this one, guys, and then we're gonna check if Magnus had returned to the if Magnus and Wesley play another game or an Pomnishin and things. Oh, I think I know what's the deal here. If I get rid of the knight on c3, there is only one defender for the rook on d1, which I'm attacking it twice, guys. I got one, I got two attackers. So if I remove the knight, that means that the second defender for the rook had disappeared. And also when I'm taking the knight, I'm attacking with tempo. So bishop c3, queen c3 attacks my knight. That is correct. But then I'm winning a rook, right? So rook takes, queen takes, check. And maybe I'm lucky in having time to saving my own knight on b4. So I think, to my understanding, bishop should take on c3. What do you think, Mosen, Strobeck's, iShanks? What do you think, guys? Or is it rook d1? Maybe I got the move. Order wrong. What do you think, guys? Is it rook takes d1? Guys, I need to draw the curtains. The sun is just making it mission impossible. The sun makes it mission impossible. So is it rook d or bishop c3? What do you think? What do you think, guys? What do you think, people, about this? Bishop c or rook d? Rook d, white can take with the rook, right? I mean, if I take with the bishop, they could go with a check. That is true as well. So if I take on c3, attacking the queen, that's cool, I understand. But then rook can take with tempo, and then I have to take, and then queen takes. So I didn't do nothing. Therefore, rook d, because I'm taking with tempo. Rook takes back eventually. Knight can't capture back because bishop takes the queen, right? So rook d8, d1. Knight, we've established, can't take. Rook f to d. And now then the bishop takes the queen or whatever. So that's cool. Yeah. Now the biggest question. We play this? Of course we play, because now rook does not have a supporter for d8. So now we're going to take, and we're going to capture the rook, checking the king. More material here. And check is with tempo. King's going to move away, and then we're going to do something with that knight. I don't know what we're going to do. This, or moving away, or attacking the queen. We got to think about this one, and what do we play? That is just great. Great, great, great. Okay, shall we have a look if Magnus had returned, guys? If he didn't, hey, they playing, that's why we wanted. Oh, Alireza Maxim. That's the, okay, so that had been adjudicated already. Okay, I'm going to draw the curtains because they are absolutely killing. Right. Yeah, you can move over there or something. if you want. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. 8:43, 8 minutes 40 for Ali Reza. 8:30 for MBL. Okay. Very weird. Is it gonna castle long? Sicilian defense open knight off. Craziness. Freak attack. Guys, do you read on the screen what it says? It says freak attack. It is freakish. It is. I guess none of them. Well, nah, none of them is gonna castle short here. You're not gonna castle short. It's impossible to castle short here. Do you play the bishop to finish up the development? You're gonna play bishop e3 and then queen d2 and castle long? Makes sense, but if you consider b5, this is in the spirit of the Sicilian, is the bishop e3. There you go. That was my first logical choice that I've speculated at this stage. Bishop e3, also reinforcing the knight. When knight, if knight were to capture on d4, bishop takes on d4, naturally opposing the bishop on g7. Yes, the knight of freak attack. I gotta tell you something, guys. I've never heard of the freak attack before, but I'm seeing it now. So that's it's an opportunity to learning every single time watching these guys playing. They always have a name for any obscure sub variation. They always having a name. So I've speculated bishop e3 because queen's gonna move over to d2 and something like castle long with a rook over to h1 and things like that and things. And yeah. Also, black has to decide what to do with the bishop, what to do with the queen, or maybe they want to go with b5 and b4. Because in the Sicilians Najdorf or Dragodorf, or every single time when you play the a6, this is the theme. But interestingly, bishop takes on g4, which, by the way, is being covered like 3 times. So, you know what's interesting? It's crazy sharp. Bishop takes. In the minute the knight takes, there is also double attack here because bishop takes, knight takes, and if queen takes, this guy can be targeted by the bishop and by the knight. So actually he's gonna get the material back. This is crazy sharp. And of course, rook h1 when. I'm not sure I got exactly your idea about rook h1 because I'm not going to take with the rook. I'm going to take with the queen, and the d4 is takeable. Mosen. So I am not taking with the rook. If I am to take, don't get me wrong, I do not advocate for taking the bishop. I could be very well f3. I do not advocate to take with the bishop g4 just yet. So bishop g4, knight g4. If queen g4, you might have a thing about the knight being attacked twice. So I'm not fully convinced if white is currently really forced to capture on g4 with the bishop. He may be very well f3. But again, I'm not sure. I don't know just yet. It might be queen d2 and not doing nothing in terms of capturing the bishop or anything. Maybe you want to castle long after all, because it's really getting funny. Really, really getting funny. Oops, where are we? Here. Oops, where is it? Yeah. Absolutely. So, 5 minutes, 40 sec for Alireza. Very, so to speak, French winners final. But then the winner of the losers bracket will be versing the winner of today. Look at this super sharp. This is way more exciting than Magnus and Wesley that just played previously, or Duda. This is really, 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 really probably the most spectacular game today. The Sicilians are incredibly sharp. 3-2-5, 3-2-5, isolated pawn on g6. This is a weakness. King can move. There is no light square bishop that could be checking the white king anywhere. So I guess king e2 is as safe as it can possibly be. And you're going to play like this, connecting the rooks. Maybe you can play rook h1. Maybe you can, in the future, exert some pressure on that pawn on g6. And yeah, what's not to like about this position? It's great. By the way, it is not white, it's black's turn to play. I would just wanted to highlight that for Ali Reza, something like king e2 would be very playable. Maybe you want to play f3 first, but then the rook might be coming on the second rank, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure about f3. Knight e7. Would you play? Yeah, but this guy is hanging. So if you do something like knight d5, the bishop takes on b2. So there you go. There are many things here happening. Very many things happening here. g6 is a liability. How do you hit g6 twice? He tries to neutralize, guys. If you haven't grasped it yet, but I'm sure you guys understood. Bishop d4 tries to exchange the only black, the only active black piece. If you play e5, you're going to doom to condemn your own bishop, which will be incredibly passive on this very critical diagonal. So bishop has to go to h, and that's awful. If bishop takes, rook's going to take back, obviously. So took, rook's going to take. Awesome. There is the fork, guys. Look at the fork. King e2, defending against the fork with knight f3. And then you can safely play something like knight e. You're going to play c3. There's going to be no danger with the rook over to the c file. But there is knight c4 that might happen. Rook c8, because always important, move the rooks on open files or semi-open files. That also does not allow you to play b3 for stopping the knight, because the knight on c3 is hanging. So I don't know what you do. If you go king, the other rook will be harassing your f-pawn. So it's a very delicate and very sharp position ending. And now it's a blitz, ladies and gents. They're already playing in blitz condition. Soon to be a bullet. There are very many possibilities here. Knight can be kicked away theoretically, I think, but if white decides to play that, the white king becomes very much checkable on the second rank and stuff. So I'm not sure if f4 long term would prove to be incredibly safe. Rook b4 going for the b7, of course, defending, attacking, defending. Would you play this kind of stuff? I'm not sure. Do you know what I like about this knight? But if you play knight, the c2 is attacked by the black rook on c7. So you gotta tread carefully. I'm not sure which way is the best here. 4 minutes for white here. You can't move the knight because c2 is hanging. Knight e5 would be great. Rook c1, if you wonder, is because to defend c2 so that you can play this. But no more possible because e6 stops the knight from getting to d5. There is no chance for knight to go to d5 now. This is the liability, this is the weakness, pawn on d6. So there is no pawn coming down the board in this situation here. What do we play? What do we play? He wants to reroute the knight, but where exactly he plans on going with the knight? He just want to play c3, I guess. If you push b3 and knight goes back where it was, then you will not be able to play. Okay, okay. They're moving very fast here. If you play f3, the king is going to be attackable on the second rank. That's another weakness there for Alireza. You defend the pawn, right? How do you defend the pawn? If you move the knight, you're going to lose on b2. You practically lost the game. He attacks the knight with tempo. If rook takes, you're going to play king f3 and both pieces are on prey. That's another idea Mosen previously, yes. So b3 kicks the knight away, because now if black rook takes with check, king's going to go over to f. Rook attacks, and now rook defends. Sorry, knight attack the rook. Rook defends the e4 attack by the black rook on h4. What can black play here? So this is the big weakness for black, is the isolated pawn on g6. If white manages to get some attacking power on the g pawn, would be something. Can you push f3? But you're condemning your rook to being blocked. Then the white rook on e3 is going to be completely surrounded by its own pawns, so to speak. You won't be able to effectively play the rook. Not mentioning that the knight needs to do something. So maybe if you do f3, the compensation could be knight f2. Is this enough? Or would you play c4 first to free up the knight? Or would you play knight b2, knight d3, knight takes? No, you're losing this guy. You take with the rook, but then you lose this guy. Yes, they already play bullet. I mean, Alireza now plays bullet. MVL does blitz still with 3 minutes 30 seconds is blitz. But Alireza is in a bullet now. And we all know what that means. That means that the moves you do could become sloppy. F3, which I did thought about playing, and I did say that might allow knight f2 relocation, freeing up the white rook on c1 to move someplace else. I did say about the f3, which seems to be a natural move, protecting the e4. Yeah, the white rook here, it's not the most happiest ever. But the knight is free to go, and the rook might be able to play something else. The white rook on c1, when the black rook on c8 had left the c file. I think they might get maybe a slight increment. Normally is 10-2. I think it's 10-2, if I remember correctly, reading the format. Yeah, so f2 is vacated. He went via b2. Okay, the black rook is going to come down over to the h file. or maybe h3. The rook f1 protects against the black rook. If the black rook attacks 3 times on f3, they're going to be... or if he checks the king, rook f2 is going to shield the king. Yeah, that's going to happen. Oh, interestingly. No. What about this? You're going to play king back. If rook h3, you're going to play king e2, defending 3 times. Trading, trading, trading. If you take with this guy, queen would have infiltrated. The pawn is pinned, can't take. What do you play? Crazy position. You can't take the pawn. The pawn on f3 white is being attacked 3 times. Sorry, twice, but then probably this move would have been possible, right? And also it's coming down. I think the problem is that it's moving down. You can't take it because the rook is falling. Alrighty, 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 alrighty. Okay, boys and girls, we're gonna call it a day for the time being. And yeah, he lost on time. Yeah, the position is interesting though. I'm not sure how you're gonna be replying here with white, but it's interesting. There's no increment. That's very sad indeed, because you got a problem indeed in this position. It's so sharp, so sharp. Okay, so thanks for stopping by today, guys, and I'll see you then next time, and probably tomorrow, very likely, and we're going to be covering the tomorrow's semifinals together. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you then soon.